Hey guys, Sam Marie. So I'm trying to kill two birds with one stone here. I'm doing my makeup. No worries. This is going to be where I just pour the stuff over my face and go like this in the video, and then all of a sudden there's like this. Oh no, you're stuck with this. So I wanted to share something that was just a little interesting. When we could find those circumstances or situations, and we're like, well, for me, I'm like this. Wasn't that interesting? Here's one of those. So, a few years ago, when my ex and I were living together, it was like probably towards the end of COVID. I worked through the entire thing. I drove almost 3 hours a day, was dressed in full PPEs many of the times, had about 25, if not more, clients die of COVID. Anyway, and one night I was home. I mean, he was never home because he worked third shift, and so I was home by myself a lot at night. I went under a website. I think it's like unclaimedfunds.com. I'm sure a lot of people have heard about it. And so I wasn't expecting, of course, I looked everybody's name up. And so I looked variations of my full name, government name up. And I see that I have multiple things of unclaimed funds. I'm like, well, isn't that interesting? I didn't know. One of them, of course, was like Wendy's from when I worked in high school. They owed me like $6.72. I think I worked one day and I didn't go back. I was like, man, fuck these. They're too strict there, wanting the chairs to line up. Walked out that job, high school. So anyway, there was other policies too, other things. Now, if you've ever been on the site, you making your account or whatever, and then you fill out some information, some basic information, just to kind of qualify you for that fund. But then they send you, depending on what it is, the forms may be this thick or may just be one piece of paper. I'm assuming, because it doesn't tell you how much it is. It'll say greater than or less than like $20, $25 or $100, I think. And so, of course, the ones that are greater than like 100, it's a lot more information, a lot more proof, right? And I actually had some in North Carolina as well. So I was like, well, why don't we just get this puppy started? Especially because one of the claims, some insurance, had an address from Elyria, Ohio. An address, my dad was born and raised and from Elyria. So I thought that was very interesting. So I completed all kinds of paperwork. I had the time then, and they sent me all this stuff. Well, life happens. I was trying to leave that social work job. I was starting that marketing job, which was intense, trying to save so I could finally break cycles and move. And so not that I never forgot about it, it just fell by the wayside, like a lot of really important things. And from the outside, a lot of people would say, people she must not care about her life or care about money that much if they don't do A, B, and C, like when it comes to taxes, and not just taxes, but just what they've been programmed to believe what's important, and they put that on me. And it's not that it's not important to me. I'm trying to speak, generally. It's not that it's important to me. It's all the shit that's been thrown my way that I'm trying to go like this to. It's hard to focus, and I know that's why it was set up that way, just in general. And I'll leave it there. So the other day I was like, oh, I wonder what, about the unclaimed fund thing. And so I have a file cabinet, and I have a certain file that the last few places I've lived goes, obviously, no matter what, it goes with me everywhere I go. And there's very important documents in there. I'll just leave it at that. Some very important documents. And it was interesting because those forms weren't in there. They've always been in there. And I only told less than a handful of people about these unclaimed funds. People in my family, person I was dating, and I think the person I was studying under. But anyway, I only told a small, group of people. And I only told, I think, one or two people about the Elyria address. I thought it was really interesting because when my dad was married to W3, I call wife number 3 W3, who never gave me his ashes, never gave us anything of my father's. I thought it was interesting because her son and his girlfriend at the time lived. I'm just matching dates up before my father passed. So I found it all very just interesting. And I shared that with 2 people. And so it's very detailed, the stuff you have to fill out for them to send you the documents, because you really have to make sure you are who you are. And so I had all these documents. Well, they're gone. I remember I was going through files because I was really trying to work on something for some clients at work. And I have tons of information here. It's just the time to go through this stuff and get it ready. And we know how that goes. And so this past weekend, I was like, well, let me look for those papers. Couldn't find them. So I go back on the website for the unclaimed funds. Do you know the only thing that's listed now under my name is the Wendy's $6.72? All those other claims are gone. Now, they would only be gone if somebody cashed out those policies. So I just wanted to note, some of those things where it's just like, that's interesting. I know a lot more than what I say I do. So I'm just throwing this out there. Just those things that come in your life that you're like, well, isn't that interesting? Document it. I know, and I'm telling you, because I know there's a lot of people experience this. There's a lot of distractions thrown your way to keep you off your path or whatever that is. It doesn't mean it's your spiritual path, whatever path or whatever you're trying to really investigate and dig through and sort out this, whether it's your job, family, it doesn't matter. There will be things purposely put in your path to distract you from things. And so knowing that, and knowing that's going to happen regardless, the distractions, being aware of it is the first thing. And then just taking notes of stuff, even if it's a quick little video, or if you just write it down real quick, or do a voice recording or a text message to yourself with the dates and times. Just document something that you're aware of so you don't forget about it a couple years later. So anyway, I hope everybody has a great Monday. Have a great day.